Like, she's like, my hip hurts. I was like,
In the realm of law enforcement, the line between justice and corruption knows no gender. Female officers, too, have ventured into the dark side of the law. From illicit drug dealings to abusive power, these cases reveal that the thin blue line can sometimes blur, inviting scandal and disbelief. Strap in for a riveting ride through tales of female cops who strayed from the path of righteousness. Who were these officers, and did they have it easier or harder because they were female? Keep watching to find out. In a shocking revelation that happened in March 2023, Joanne Marion Segovia, 64 years old, who held the position of executive director at the San Jose Police Officers Association, was ensnared in a federal criminal complaint. The accusation? Her alleged involvement in the illicit importation of synthetic opioids, with a focus on Valeryl fentanyl, a notorious synthetic opioid responsible for the ongoing overdose crisis in the United States. This unfolding drama is part of an extensive investigation led by Homeland Security, targeting a complex network engaging in the smuggling of controlled substances into the San Francisco Bay Area from overseas. The case brims with intricate details, underscoring the gravity of the situation and the efforts to bring those involved to justice. Joanne Marion Segovia's web of deception and illegal activities began to unravel in February, when she faced the scrutiny of federal investigators. Despite the mounting pressure, she shockingly continued to order controlled substances even after her initial interview. In the subsequent interview on March 14th, Segovia resorted to a desperate tactic, attempting to shift blame onto her housekeeper for the incriminating packages, WhatsApp messages, and cash transactions. It was a move that investigators saw through, labeling her responses as false information. Using both personal and office computers, she orchestrated the delivery of thousands of opioid and other pills straight to her home address. Shockingly, she didn't stop there and allegedly agreed to distribute these drugs throughout the United States. Over a span of several years, from October 2015 to January, Segovia oversaw a staggering 61 shipments to her residence. The packages were sent from overseas, including Hong Kong, Hungary, India, and Singapore. The clandestine nature of these shipments is particularly noteworthy, as the manifests cunningly described their contents with labels like wedding party favors, gift makeup, or chocolate and sweets in a bid to slip under the radar. However, between July 2019 and January 2023, the authorities managed to intercept and unveil the truth behind 5 of these shipments, exposing thousands of pills of controlled substances. This alarming discovery included synthetic opioids such as tramadol and tapentadol, with certain parcels valued at thousands of dollars worth of illegal drugs. Segovia's intricate operations left a digital footprint. The use of encrypted WhatsApp communications revealed an array of discussions regarding the logistics of receiving and sending pill shipments. In these exchanges numbering in the hundreds, Segovia corresponded with an individual using a phone bearing an India country code. Their conversations delved into the minute of shipping details and the financial arrangements for the illicit pills. A criminal complaint merely alleges that crimes have been committed, and like all defendants, Segovia is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. As of April 8, 2023, she was fired from her job. If convicted, Segovia faces a maximum statutory sentence of 20 years. In addition, as part of any sentence, the court may order the defendant to serve at least 3 years of supervised release and pay a fine of up to $250,000. An outside investigator was also hired to conduct a comprehensive no-holds-barred probe of Segovia's alleged crimes to determine to what extent she utilized union resources and whether that could have been prevented. Wow, a grandma running a drug trafficking show? Moving on to the next cop, in 2018, a shocking incident unfolded when a female cop punched a pregnant woman for non-compliance with her instructions. San Antonio police officer Elizabeth Montoya faced consequences in 2019 when department footage of the incident was made public, leading to her termination. During the response to a disturbance call, Officer Elizabeth Montoya reportedly punched Kimberly Esperanza 7 times in the head. Montoya then forcefully pulled Esperanza by her hair, dragging her out of a car. This left a 6-month pregnant Esperanza handcuffed and sitting on the ground in the pouring rain, barefoot. Shockingly, she was left in this distressing situation for 26 minutes. Nevertheless, Montoya vigorously defended herself in court. Montoya's attorney presented SAPD body camera footage to support her claims. She stated that Esperanza had repeatedly mule-kicked her during a drug search, causing her to be concerned about being spit on or headbutted. Due to Esperanza's close proximity, Montoya testified that she used open palm strikes to redirect Esperanza's head.
If you kick me again, I swear to God, I'll break your arm.
While attempting to secure her in a police vehicle, she described these strikes as a rabbit punch aimed at gaining Esperanza's compliance, not as heavy blows since she didn't put her full weight behind them. Montoya was initially placed on indefinite leave and subsequently fired. However, according to the latest reports, her punishment was reduced to a 45-day suspension, and she was reinstated to the force. Should a corrupt officer like Montoya be allowed to wear a badge again, even after her actions were caught on camera? Can the public trust officers like Montoya who have a history of misconduct to serve and protect their communities? Share your thoughts below. For the final story, get ready for a tale of unexpected romance between a cop and a drug kingpin that had New York City buzzing with shock and intrigue. In New York City, a criminal organization known as the Shooting Boys, led by Andrew Dunn, was notorious for its involvement in drug sales, gun violence, and conflicts with rival gangs. Around the summer of 2020, the 52nd Precinct's Public Safety Unit aimed to combat the rising gun violence in the city, much of which was attributed to the Shooting Boys. During this period, NYPD officer Gina L. Mestre, who served in the Public Safety Unit from July 2013 to May 2022, began a secretive relationship with Andrew Dunn, carried out through covert social media accounts and undisclosed phone numbers. Shockingly, Mestre chose to betray her law enforcement role by sharing confidential, non-public information regarding a federal grand jury investigation into the Shooting Boys. This information enabled the gang to stay one step ahead of federal investigators, who were preparing to indict them. She even leaked the identity of a witness who never appeared to testify again. At all times relevant to this indictment, Gina Mestre, the defendant, and others known and unknown were members and associates of the Shooting Boys gang, or the Enterprise, a criminal organization whose leaders, members, and associates engaged in, among other things, acts involving murder, assault, robbery, narcotics, trafficking, wire fraud, and obstruction of justice, said Mestre's indictment. The consequences turned tragic when on November 5, 2020, Dunn murdered a rival gang member referred to as Victim 1 in the Bronx. Surveillance footage captured the crime, and Mestre was one of the several officers who identified Dunn as the perpetrator. In the pursuit of Andrew Dunn, Mestre not only provided him with a copy of the incriminating video, but also maintained secret communication with him on the day of the murder and in the weeks that followed. This communication gave Dunn valuable information about law enforcement's efforts to capture him, allowing him to eventually flee the United States. She abused her position as an NYPD police officer, obstructing a federal grand jury investigation into the gang, and assisting the gang's leader in evading capture for a cold-blooded murder committed in broad daylight. The law eventually caught up with the Shooting Boys in March 2022, when 10 of its members faced a 15-count federal indictment, including charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and murder. Dunn was captured in the Dominican Republic and sentenced to 35 years in prison in February 2023 for his involvement in Victim 1's murder. About this time, Gina Mestre left the NYPD after a 9-year career. As for Mestre, she faces serious charges, including racketeering conspiracy, conspiracy to obstruct justice, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, and accessory after the fact to murder in aid of racketeering. If convicted, she could potentially serve a lengthy prison sentence. The story serves as a stark reminder that even those tasked with upholding the law can become entangled in the world of crime and corruption. Did the cops discussed face the justice they deserved? Is the system doing enough to maintain the integrity of law enforcement agencies? What more can be done to protect the public from corrupt officers? Discuss your thoughts in the comments below and follow for similar content.